If you don't want to be on camera, now's the time to get off of it. Okay, welcome to the Sunday Writing Salon. Today we're going to talk about kickstarting your NaNoWriMo, planning versus pantsing. Okay, I am going to share this screen. Where's the share button? Oh my God, yo estoy ciega. Oh, it's green. How can I not see that? Okay. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, you see the presentation, right?
I see something.
It says kickstarting your NaNoWriMo. Everyone sees that?
That's right.
Okay.
And there's
Now,
a coffee cup with a heart in it. Yeah.
okay, let's go. Okay. What is planning and pantsing, and what are the pros and cons of each approach? Okay. Explanation. Planning refers to the approach where writers outline their story before they start writing. This method can provide a roadmap, helping you navigate your story more efficiently. Pantsing, on the other hand, means writing by the seat of your pants without a detailed plan. This approach can offer more creative freedom, but may lead to plot holes or inconsistency. So, one by one, which one are you? Are you the planner or the pantser? How many of you plan your outlines when you're writing?
Mostly planning.
Mostly planning? Okay. And everybody else just wings it.
I do a mix of both.
Okay. All right. So the first writing prompt is write down a brief description of a story idea and then list 3 pros and cons for tackling this idea through planning and pantsing. ¿Entendemos? You're going to write the brief description of the story idea, and then you're going to list 3 pros for it and then 3 cons by using either one of these processes, which is the planning or the pantsing. Like, what's the pro of you planning for that story idea, right? What's the con of you planning for? What's the pro for pantsing? What's the, con for pantsing? You guys get it? Also, guys, if you're not using artificial intelligence to outline your story ideas, you might want to try it. Okay? And if you want me to teach you, we could do that right quick, right now. So just let me know if this is something that you want to learn. I've been hosting AI writing workshops for the past few weeks. We have one coming up this weekend, which is mostly for our Spanish speaking audience. But if you're, if you're comfortable with Spanish, come through.
Actually, can you do a little brief of something? Because I recently started looking into that, but I don't have like any guidance or whatever.
Claro que sí. So let me see, where's my screen? Because yo estaba aquí escribiendo. Okay, yo estaba aquí. Now guys, I am crazy with AI because it helps me brainstorm a lot. I mean, I'm one of those people that constantly is thinking of new ways to improve something or to do something. So it's really helpful to me. So, por ejemplo, am I sharing the screen? Do you see the okay,
Yeah.
so this is my AI.
Yes,
This was Keto. This was a letter that I asked AI to help me write to thank our volunteers. So if you see on the left, these are all the chats that I've started. That's the history of things. And I could go back to it. I could keep writing in it or whatnot. So the website for ChatGPT is chat.openai.com. I am going to put that in the chat for you all. Okay. You can log into the website, create a free account. There's also a payable account, and I'll show you what I get for being a paid subscriber. And there's also the ChatGPT app, which is a white app with like green with black scribbles that you could download to your phone and use the app through your phone, which I do all the time during my commute. I could just go back to a conversation, continue it on my phone, and then when I'm home, I could sit down and access it via the desktop. Okay, so whichever you prefer, or if you want to do both. Okay, so once you create an account on chat.openai, I will show you all the things that you could do. So I have the paid version, guys. I don't know if any of you have a free version, but on my paid version, ChatGPT has upgraded this week, and it's made my life so much easier, because now I could create specific chat assistants for very specific tasks. For example, I'm always working on marketing and promoting someone's book. So I created a marketing assistant, right? So you could definitely go on YouTube. I don't want to go in depth in that, but you can now go in there. It's $20, Eddie. Eddie, you will go crazy if you use this. Trust me, you will not need me anymore. I take that back. You're always gonna need me. But
Is that $20 a year?
no, it's a monthly fee.
Oh, that's expensive.
Okay. But you could use you don't have to get the
Right.
fee, right? That just depends on what you want to do. Since I've had the pay from the beginning, I don't even know if they've upgraded the free option and what you could do with it. So if anyone here uses the free option or signed up right now, and you want to tell me what you have available to you, that'll be awesome, so that everybody else knows, because I have no clue. Okay, so for one, I also have a chat assistant to help me write grants. I have a chat assistant that's a teaching artist that helps me create workshops. Like this workshop was created with the help of ChatGPT. Okay, I also have one as a writing coach, which I highly recommend to you all. If you use Instagram and if you use WhatsApp and you go create a chat, if you've updated your app, you can now use AI on WhatsApp and Instagram. And both platforms now have chat assistants with very specific roles, and one of them is a creative writing mentor. And that creative writing mentor, when you open a chat with them on Instagram or on WhatsApp, they guide you through your writing. They tell you, hey, how can I help you? You could ask it, how can you help me? And it will tell you, I could help you edit your work. I could help you, check grammar and whatnot. It gives you a list of all the things that it could do for you. And you go from there. You tell it, hey, I need help. Act like it's me, Angie, I need help with this. How can you help me? What do I need to do? I'm stuck here. Talk to it like it's a person. The more information you give it, the more detail you are, the more context you provide, the better the response.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, Gina.
I just signed up. It's blowing my mind, and I've been in there for like 3 seconds. I figured I put, plan to write a memoir, and it gave me like 15 steps.
Yeah.
Like immediately.
So now with this outline exercise, I urge you to tell it, let's create an outline to write my memoir. But also add, what is your memoir about?
Right.
Tell it what your memoir is about. If you have a short description of what your memoir is about, oh, it's about a little girl that goes through this and goes through that, these experience and whatnot. And I want our reader to understand this and that. The more information you give it about your memoir, the more specific it will be about what you need to do.
Incredible.
Okay. And then you could also ask the chat assistant to be your collaborative writer. Okay. And it will guide you through completing that outline. And if there's anything on the outline that you don't understand, you could say, hey, could you elaborate on this? I don't understand what you mean by that. And it will do that. Okay. Teresa, are you still there? Am I losing you? You good?
I'm here. I'm fully in there.
Did you all download the app or gain access to the desktop?
I have access to the desktop, the free version. I didn't want to go into pay until I kind of learn like
That's fine.
this
So
version
can you,
and the difference.
Teresa, can you tell me if the free version allows you to, like, the menu have the explore option on the left?
Let me check right now.
So
It
my
has-
explore
I
option,
have the new chat request, and that's it.
yeah, okay.
And
So
that's
you-
it. And then
so-
it has a little thing at the bottom that says upgrade. Let me click on that and what it says.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you
just give me the option for that, the GPT-4 for $20 a month. Yes.
so
Mhm.
you don't have the explore option on your menu.
No.
So there you go, guys. So here,
You only get that option. You see on your left side, right under you explore that it says new chat. That's all
Yeah.
you get, little box with a plus sign, new chat.
got
That's
it.
it.
Okay. So since I have the paid version, guys, on my end, you see the explore on the left side menu, okay? And here you see the chat assistants that I created, which was the grant guide, the writing coach, the libro marketer, and the teaching artist companion. Okay. But then ChatGPT also has these plugins that you can use. It has DALL-E, which allows you to create images. It
Oh.
has a data analysis option, which is amazing, guys, because if you have a body of work and you want ChatGPT to copy your tone and your way of writing, you could just upload an essay or whatnot to it under this plugin and ask it to copy your tone. And you could direct it to use that same tone when writing anything.
But then we're not writing.
You are writing, Gina, because you're telling it what to write. You're giving it the context.
But it's writing it.
Yeah, but it's not that you're going to use word by word. You get an idea, so you can have
Right.
like
So
flow
for
of
example,
ideas.
I took a short story that I wrote and I uploaded it and I asked it to copy the tone. And then I asked it to, what was it? I asked it to improve the writing. And I also asked it, what are other ways that, where can I take this story? Right? And it gave me options, but in my own words. Now, I could choose whether or not I want to take those options, but the ChatGPT is not going to write it for you. Okay? Use it for your creativity, use it for brainstorming, ask it questions if you're stuck on anything. That's what you should be using it for. I never want, I've seen tons of videos of people writing children's books. Amazon has a category already on people who are writing books with OpenAI. Literary agents are also now requesting that if you wrote your book with the assistance of AI, you should be telling people that, which I doubt people are going to be saying. I doubt people are really going to be honest about whether or not they use ChatGPT to help them write their book. And currently, unfortunately, there's no way to, tell that apart. But the more personal, like a memoir, you gotta give it context. You could tell ChatGPT right now to write a memoir about Gina Arias, but it's not gonna have any context. It doesn't know who Gina is unless you tell it, right? So it's not going to be writing for you in that manner, okay? Then here you have, I guess it also teaches you how to play board games. It teaches you, it helps you advocate for yourself and get better outcomes with the negotiator plugin. Here's the writing coach, guys. Look at this. Let's click on the writing coach. Let's put, how can you help me. This is the ChatGPT writing coach. You could say I'm writing a fiction story or whatnot. Oh, this is kind of slow today.
You misspelled the word. Right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I could tell.
Oh, wow.
See? It tells me, it can assist me with giving me feedback on my writing, overcoming writer's block.
I don't see that. Where? Oh, above, okay.
It can help me with techniques and styles, with editing and refining my work. That's advice on structure, pacing, language, and more. And it could motivate and inspire me. And then it says, feel free to share your piece of writing or asking a specific question related to your writing needs. And then that writing coach would just be there to help you out. Okay. Now, for example, I need to draft, you know what? Help me draft an outline for my memoirs about a little girl who meets her thought later in age and over. I'm gonna make it overcome daddy issues. That's what I'm gonna do. So here's it's going to give me a very general outline because I didn't give it much. But if you feed it your bio, if you have a short description, I guess, of your book, then it's gonna tell you. But as you can see, it tells me start with a hook, set the scene, the purpose, talk about my childhood, my early years, my formative experiences, perception of my father, growing awareness, challenges I faced, who were my support system, talk about meeting my dad, or developing a relationship. So you see, now, if I want the chat to help me with each one of these points that it asked me, I could just say, okay, let's start with the hook. Help me write a compelling moment from my life that symbolizes, and I could go on and on. Then I could move on to let's set the scene. Let's write about the purpose. And I could go one by one. I also suggest that you guys open a Google Doc or a Word document, whatever you prefer, and just copy and paste each section and start answering one by one. It helps you guys because you don't need to use it exactly as it is provided. It just opens your mind to other possibilities. Okay, and other ways of you drafting your body of work. Let me see. Eduardo, thank you. For those of you on the fence, use it for everything but my art, and it saves me time to focus on what I actually care about. Someday I will use it for my book. Jadi says I use it for my workshops at work. As far as writing, I just use it as a co-creator, more like help me brainstorm ideas, but it does not write for me. And Rosendo, you gave me something very technical that I will probably ask ChatGPT to break it down to me in layman's terms. If you could break that down to me in English, that would be great. So yeah. Go on, Rosendo.
Oh, now you want me to?
Yeah, it's fine. You were gonna say something.
I'm sorry if that was too much jargon, but no, I was just kind of like what you were saying. I was just kind of giving it to you how it's kind of programmed. The LLMs, the large language models, it uses those prompts you give it, like you said, those asks, those just prompts. And so the generative pre-trained model, the GPT, it learns by that. Whether you're giving it prompts for a project that's how should I put it, graphic or copy. So, you can use ChatGPT or other large language models for like visuals too, but those are other programs, but that's another story. But yeah, that's why I didn't want to give it to everybody and everyone. It's kind of like a side, but I mean, if you got if what I say has to be translated by ChatGPT, it's not a good sign. That's I'm not relating then.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
So also, guys, ChatGPT knows, I guess, how many languages, Eduardo? I think it's like 200 and something languages. If you're writing in English, you could ask it to translate to whatever language you want. Okay. I have also created very specific prompts for when I'm creating workshops for the salon. Like for the past 5 weeks, all those workshops that I've been doing with the salon, I've created with AI. So I give it very specific prompts on what I wanted to do, on what the topic is, and then we go from there. And then also it helps me, like if I want to create a presentation or whatnot, I could ask it to give me information in the style of a table or list. I could tell it I want to create a Google form. What should the information be on the Google form? I want to collect this data or whatnot. And it will tell you, how to draft it. It will help you draft it. So did I do what I was meant to do when Teresa asked me, can you show us what was it? It was the outline. Nos fuimos lejos con el prompt. Right? Teresa, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was trying to unmute it. Yeah, I'm good. I get it. Yeah.
What are you thinking about the AI?
Well, no, I started exploring it recently and I was just like throwing random questions like, on it. But I guess with a little more guidance, I can, benefit more from it. On that, the brainstorming and stuff like that.
YouTube University is your friend. There's
yes
tons of info on how you could use AI for your writing, how you could use it to run your business, how you could use it for everything except anything physical. Okay, I mean, it will tell you if you need an exercise routine and help you create it.
Yeah.
You just give it context and say, I weigh this much, I want to do this, I want to lose this amount of weight or eat better or whatever. What are some nutritious recipes or whatnot? And it will do that. It'll help you create that. Okay. Now that we've deviated from this prompt, let's go back to the presentation. Here we go.
I so appreciate you taking us through this. I am a technophobe. I can't do this alone. Last night I learned how to change my background.
Oh yes, congratulations.
With other people online. I couldn't do it alone.
Yeah, it all takes practice, Rosita.
Yeah.
And not everything is for everyone. Also, okay. So, do you guys end up doing the prompt or I need to give you more time to write your brief description of a story idea and listing the pros and cons? Does anyone want to share what would be the pros and cons of you planning your writing or winging it?
Well, my one con for me would be that I write from inspiration. I cannot plan inspiration.
Got it. But you have your memoirs, Rosita.
From inspiration, yes.
Really? So you don't have an outline on every single thing that you want to include in your memoirs?
Never.
But what if you forget something?
I never do.
Wow, that's incredible. I would need an outline. I'm a planner.
When I plan and I'm coming from the head and it's not the same. It doesn't sound the same, doesn't feel the same.
Okay. All right. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the video of how Will Smith outlined his memoir. You should look it up. It's on YouTube. Like he and his, I don't know if it was his assistant or editor or whatnot, but he had a very interesting way of breaking down each point in his memoirs. Okay.
Some advice for people who I never heard of, well, listen, considering yourself a writer, me considering myself a writer is a brand new thing. Even though in my head I was like click 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 click, writing the little memoir in my head before I was comfortable enough to call myself that. If you are in a inspiration phase, just consume your computer, pay attention, as much as you can. But if you want to create a product, if you want to birth a thing, it helps to have a structure. I lose it doesn't I've had billions of ideas, but very few execution. So if you want to write a thing and say this is what it would feel like to be done, then set some time out and plan it out. But if you have some resistance to that, it just means that you're in the phase of your life where you're just consuming information. And by the way, I've switched multiple times. Technically speaking, as many of you know, I record myself a lot and I do little memos here and there. That technically is planning a little bit. And then I went on my life and paid attention to what was going on in my life and the life of others. And that too is a little bit of plotting. So it's totally acceptable to switch between the two. It has helped me to stop thinking that I'm doing it wrong. Just live your life. You're an artist. It's already in you. Stop freaking out about it. Use whatever tools are available to you. That's my advice.
I agree. Thank you, Eduardo. Okay, so am I sharing the screen?
No.
Okay, now? Okay,
Yeah.
so what tools and techniques can help you in planning a NaNoWriMo novel? Again, I'm going to tell you, use ChatGPT, but planning tools like outlines, character sketches, and storyboards can be incredibly beneficial for NaNoWriMo. They help you visualize your story, understand your characters, and identify potential plot holes before you start writing. So for this writing prompt, I want you to create a basic outline or a storyboard for your NaNoWriMo story idea. Give you guys 5 minutes. So a storyboard, for those of you who don't know, is a graphic organizer. It's like these little boxes that you create where you write down what's happening in your story. It's just a graphic representation of every step, made up of number of squares with illustrations or pictures representing each part of the story, with notes of what's going on in the scenes and what's being said in the script during that shot. Also, if you guys do not use Scrivener, I totally recommend it because Scrivener allows you to break down your novel. So it is something that you need to purchase if you guys want to get a cheap version of Scrivener. I got somebody. Just let me know you want it, and I'll send you my person to hook you up. Just let them know I sent you. But you will not be paying the $60 or $50 or whatever. I got a guy who sells all this stuff to me. So Scrivener helps you break things into storyboards and outlines and go step by step with developing your story. Yeah. I know a guy who knows a guy. Is everybody done with their basic outline or storyboard? I mean, some of you may not have a project, but no? Okay, let's go to the next one. How can you succeed at NaNoWriMo if you prefer to write without a plan? For those of you who are winging it. If you're pantsing, setting daily writing goals and allowing room for your story to evolve are crucial. When you hit a roadblock, take a step back to evaluate your story's direction rather than forcing a preconceived plot point. For this writing prompt, write the opening scene of your NaNoWriMo project without any planning. I'll give you all 5 minutes. Everybody finished writing their opening scene? Does anyone want to share? Eduardo, I know you got something.
I mean, yes. Do I want to share it? No, but I'm happy to talk about it if that's what helps.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna share some tips that have really helped me kind of get out of my own way. I don't know if everybody's aware of this concept of being outside your body during a very traumatic experience. And I didn't know other people did that. A little bit of my book is about somebody who believes that they are godlike and deciding whether or not to destroy the world. But the way in which he's going to go about destroying the world is just by letting them destroy themselves. Not a bad God, just a God who's real sick and tired of all your nonsenses. So now that I'm out of that point in my life, what has really helped me is to, in a lesser degree, think of myself as a director of a movie. And I am just looking at what is happening in my life, in the life of others, what happened back then. Especially because, as I've mentioned multiple times, I wish I would have written it when it was happening, simply because the ways in which I justified, the ways in which I saw the world were pure and wholesome. I am writing about masculinity. I am writing about why I saw the world that I did with the information that was given to me, and how I, through the hero's journey, eventually changed my mind. But if you are stuck, the best way to think about how to begin, especially if you have an idea like mine, where it's like, wow, I went through this thing and I wish I would have written it down, just sit back and imagine if I was directing this movie and this was my character, and my character didn't know what he knew now, how would they act? What would they do? And how would they begin? And so my book begins with someone genuinely believing that they need to tap into their powers, especially the ones that they are not used to. And thus begins, this very dark period in my life. And so that's how I begin it. I begin it by basically kind of sort of saying, I've already won. I know that I've already won because I'm here writing these words down, and I know for a fact that if I would have failed, I wouldn't be here. So yeah, I hope that helps. I'm trying not to share too much about it, but I hope that helps simply because it's helped me get out of my own way and just get to writing.
Thank you. Did anyone find that helpful? Sí, no, yes, Jen?
Yeah, I do find it helpful. And in fact, with me, I've been very connected with my writing for such a long time, and I have been very like kind of like stuck on purpose on how to like it's like sabotaging myself to not like go for it. And I feel like I be looking for tools and more materials to like get it over with and like execute. But what Eduardo just said about like that, and I think that's where I was kind of stuck, that like how can I want to talk about what happened very vividly, but I want to go back and be in that mindset of that person in that specific moment, and then just talk about that from that perspective, if that makes sense. Not from like my mindset right now. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's one of the reasons why I joined Dominican Writers, because I wanted tools to like open that possibility. So Eduardo's sharing that right now, it kind of makes sense. So I'm not the only one.
Thank you. I hope that we exceeded your expectations. Okay, next one is it possible to combine planning and pantsing? How can a hybrid approach benefit your NaNoWriMo experience? I think we've covered this, and some of you have shared, Eduardo as well. Combining elements of both planning and pantsing, this approach offers the flexibility of pantsing with the structure of planning, allowing you to adapt your story as you go while still having a basic roadmap. So the writing prompt for this is write down how you could combine elements of both planning and pantsing for your NaNoWriMo. You don't really need to do this. I think we've been discussing this since the beginning of the workshop on how it both. Rosita writes out of inspiration. Eduardo feels that if you're trying to produce something, you do need a roadmap, but otherwise you could take the time to just learn and take in everything that is happening around you. Right? So what are the key takeaways of kickstarting your NaNoWriMo journey, regardless of your approach, is understanding your own writing process. Everyone has their own writing process, their own writing routine. Some people will listen to music. I was dating somebody that needed to drink to get years ago. I'm not in that toxic relationship anymore. But he used to have to drink to be inspired to write, and it was insane. But his greatest work would come when he was a little spicy. And some people are like that. There's some people that need to be depressed and sad to write, which is bonkers to me. There's some people who, when they're happy, they can't write because they feel that they could only write from their trauma. So everyone is different. Understand who you are as a writer, because yes, you are a writer. Understand who you are as a writer. Understand your writing process. Set achievable goals. If you know that you're mad busy, don't sabotage yourself by setting a goal that is not going to be attainable. Be realistic. Idealistic is good too, but be realistic. And with your time, with your commitment, with your focus, so that you could have a very successful experience. So here we could write 3 actionable steps you're going to take to prepare yourself for NaNoWriMo based on what you've learned from this workshop. Okay, so that is for you to do on your own. Like I said, I cannot write your actionable steps. I could help you and I could guide you, but only you know what you can do, right? Thank yourselves, as Eduardo says, thank yourself for keeping yourselves alive, writing those moments now and in safety. Look back at what you write and what happened. Had you written it then, you would be editing now. Edit now by writing what is important. Drinking under the influence. Rosendo said that is the Ernest Hemingway, Hunter Thompson approach, drinking under the influence and writing. So it's 12 p.m. So I want to give you all some time to write. Okay, is that okay with y'all? Take some time to write, use the tools that we spoke about today to guide you. I'm here if you have questions, but other than that, let's take until 12:20 to write. Okay, because that's what I want you all to do. I want you to start writing. And if you haven't started writing, then I want you to use these tools to begin doing so, okay? Hit me up in the chat privately if you want. I'm gonna be here working on my own stuff, but yeah, let's write.
Hi, hello. Thank you for everything. If you like, I can share an experience I had recently with ChatGPT and a short story that I wrote.
Ali, thank you for joining us, Ali. But right now we're not sharing, we're just writing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So
Welcome.
I'm just gonna put some lo-fi music and provide you guys with the ambiance to just write. So work on your writing projects. If you need to go, that's totally okay. But for the rest of you, let's write. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me,
I can
guys?
hear you now.
Okay, wonderful. Did everyone get some writing done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice. How much do you write? A paragraph, a page?
About
You try not to write at all.
I wrote a poem.
paragraphs.
Nice, Rosita. Jen?
A poem.
Okay. Gina?
I wrote 2 big paragraphs, a page, definitely over a page.
Okay. Are any of you feeling frustrated with your writing? Like you need any extra help? You find it challenging?
I had a hard time connecting.
You had a hard time what?
Connecting with my writing.
Okay. All right. What was it about the connecting, Jen? That you were having a difficult time with?
I think it was just me internally. Me just trying to I don't know. But I found my way and I did some writing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to share. I'm going to share in the chat the Scrivener option, and I'm going to share in case any of you want to look into that possibility, and then I'm going to, where's my email? Um, okay. And then this is the email of the person. If you want to reach out, I'm trying to find their, okay. So they are, okay. So, if you're reaching out to this person, guys, please know it is a black market contact that I'm hooking you up with. Please be polite, reach out to them and tell them that I, as a previous customer, I've used them tons of time. I bought tons of licenses for Microsoft Word and Final Draft and other programs that I've installed on my computer without any issues. If you are not tech savvy and you have an issue installing any of these licenses on your computer, you can reach out to him and he will walk you through the process, okay? So again, I'm lending you my contact. Don't mess it up. Okay. What else? What else? Oh, you could ask him for a list of the programs that he does sell. I'm trying to find the guy's name. I just call him Mr. Brown. Because he has a list of all kinds of Windows software as well as Mac software. For example, let me see how much he had. Did he have Scrivener here? And if he doesn't have something, you could also ask him, is it possible for him to get it? So ask. For example, let's see. Hold on a sec. It's a big discount. So this is like an old list I have from him, and this is like from 2018. But for example, he has Acrobat Pro DC for $25. Nothing is over 50. It's like $25, $20, $40 for QuickBooks Pro. Let me see. For Windows, he has Final Draft 10, which was $30. Photography stuff, visual art stuff, 30. It's mostly range between $20 to $40 for the stuff. What do you mean by, is it tied to this person's email? I don't know what you mean by that, Eduardo.
Sometimes when you register software, it lists an email that was purchased with it. So my question is, does this person have a magic hookup with these companies? Or is he?
I don't ask.
You're not supposed to ask questions. Got it.
I don't ask. He sells me the license to the program that I want, and I hook it up. I pay for it and I hook it up. I've never had an issue with it. So if you're the type of person that you're paranoid about putting anything on your computer, this is not for you. Because I will be tight if you mess up my contact. Okay? So if you're one of those people,